So you said that Trump is good for America. Can you explain how?
Exactly that one.
Trump is good for America. Sir, he is trying to build the manufacturing base at the American soil, and rather than the over reliance on the Chinese manufacturing.
By saying that he's trying to build a manufacturing base there, right? Manufacturing of goods, obviously, because services are not manufactured, right? Have you heard a term called product cycle? What are the phases of product cycle?
Sir, first is the incubation phase, where second is the prototyping phase.
You have to tell one line of each phase as well.
Okay. So first is the incubation phase, where the product ideation is done, and
Where product what is done?
ideation is done. Ideation has been incubated.
What do you mean by ideation? It's not an economic term.
Sir, ideation, I said an idea is proposed, and that idea is incubated, like it is researched upon. Can it be?
Research and development is the part of this phase. Okay, each phase, this is an economic term, each phase has got its economic terminology. Okay, so that's where we have to focus. So first phase is research and development. Second,
Sir, making of a product prototype to see whether the product is product market fit or not.
no, second phase is production and launch of the product. Okay, here the product would become popular. In third phase, product has become popular. Now you will start exporting it. In fourth phase, now the product is obsoleted. No research and development is required. Research and development is the part of capitalist economies, okay, because they can invest there. So what is done then? Then the technology is outsourced to such countries where labor is cheap, because now the product has turned from capital intensive to labor intensive, right? So that's the destiny of every product that will be manufactured. So you can never ever create a manufacturing base for the already in use and obsoleted product. It will cause the havoc and mess for the industries which are actually manufacturing the product, because now it's total work of labors, and labors are expensive in capitalist economies. Yes or no? So, the idea of making America a production hub can only be possible if America is developing new product every now and then, which is again infeasible because a product requires at least few years of in-depth research and development. Getting my point? Okay. Apart from this, how will he be, or his policies will be good for America?
Sir, it will lead to in the research and development of the deep technologies like AI, semiconductors.
Research and development of deep
Yes, sir.
technologies,
As he has,
how research and development of deep technologies would be propagated and promoted by the Trump's policy of tariff?
sir, like he has put an export ban of Nvidia's chip to the Chinese market, and he sees them as the main competitor in the deep technology incubation. So I think putting a restriction on the Nvidia's chip, he has I think promoted this deep tech.
My dear, how research would be promoted if he has banned the export of chip? The chip was already manufactured.
No, sir, I am talking about the further research of the in that uses the Nvidia's chip.
Tell me one thing, when export is done, the market for the product is gets widen up. Initially you were selling in your own domestic country, now you have entire world to sell the product. Market widens up. Yeah. So when market widens up, then you will manufacture more, or if the market narrows down, then you will manufacture more. In which case you will manufacture more.
Sir, of course, in the previous phase that you mentioned.
So if a restriction is applied and you cannot export, your market has narrowed down, your production would increase or decrease?
Sir, it would decrease definitely.
So how is it going to increase the research? Because if production would decrease, then why would extra capital be invested? And if capital will not be invested, how can research and development be done?
So, but if restrictions are not there, Chinese can.
I am talking in terms of making America great.
Yes,
Yeah?
sir.
We are not talking about what implications it would have on balance of payment. We are talking about his policy, how it would increase the production and research and development. So it is rather going to narrow down the research and development. Okay, to tell you the crux of it, the thing is the terms policy in long term is going to make America bankrupt. The reason being, it would impose high level of inflation on the people of US. Tariffs are what? Who pays the tariff? Tariffs are the taxes that are imposed on the imported goods. So US people are going to pay. Point number one. Point number two, US imports most of its things from abroad. Why? Because most of the products are not some hi-fi scientific things, rather daily usage things, which are labor intensive. So US imports it. If US starts manufacturing these things, the product would become further expensive. Okay, so there is no option, US has to import it. And if a tax is imposed on that, it would increase the general price level, that is inflation. It may even lead to the level of hyperinflation. Now, the prices of things have increased, but real wages of the people have not increased. But if inflation would increase, real wage is equal to nominal wage minus inflation. So if inflation would increase, real wages would go down. That means living standard would lower. Yes or no? And the people who are the taxes in America are very high. You have to pay the tax. There is no slab sort of thing, right? You have to pay high tax. You have to pay your EMIs and everything, and you are not able to save more. You are paying there. What would happen? You will become bankrupt one day. That's what would happen in long run in America. So the policies are, in fact, more destructive for Americans. That's why the resolution is being planned to be passed by the senators of US to quash these tariff madness there. Okay. So Trump's policies are economically toxic for his country as well.
So actually, what I read was by manufacturing, I meant the deep technological manufacturing, because
Deep technologies are not manufactured.
no, sorry, research upon the deep technology. I was
So you used the wrong word. It was a misnomer then. It was a misnomer. And even deep technologies, you have to understand one thing. All the companies which are the innovators of technology, you name the Fortune 500 companies, most of them are headed by the Indians or the Asian people. Yes or no?